and Talks podcast, episode 46.
46.
How's it? 46. How's it going, everyone? Good afternoon, evening, morning, however the hell you listen to this.
Shouts out, everybody.
Shout out to the random, what was it, 98 downloads that we got for the last week's
Yeah,
episode?
yeah. We were like, I was looking at the numbers on our distributor, and I was like, why did it shoot up to 96 or 8 or whatever it was downloads in one day, August 10th. So I don't know what happened August 10th. I don't know if it just like didn't update and it gave us the week's downloads in one day, or if it was, I don't know. It made no sense, but I'll take it.
We have over 20 racks in listeners.
That's
Ian, you're supposed to laugh believably.
That was my half fake laugh. I have like multiple laughs. Yeah, I have like a meh.
I don't like it.
I have a fake laugh, a real laugh, a half laugh.
He has a lot of laughs.
I have a snarky laugh. I have a sarcastic laugh. I have a you're not funny laugh. You good?
I'm waiting for you to say something.
I was going to say we're drinking Lost Craft.
We're drinking a lot of Lost Craft today.
We have multiple Lost Crafts. We put in an order.
Came through with the pack, the Lost pack for the Lost and Talks.
Yeah.
Not sponsored, but you can actually have it delivered to your house. And it's amazing.
Free shipping over $50. Just use the promo code Lost and Talks, which doesn't exist because
Which doesn't exist, but
it's
try
free.
it.
It's free. Yeah,
Do I
try it
put
anyway.
it in so they can see that somebody's entering that?
Just enough people would do it and they'd be like, "Yo, what is it? Did we make this? Is this a promo?" Like,
Lost in time.
I don't even know if we're allowed to say that, but
Fuck?
basically...
we just spent $100 on their shit, bro. Like,
Yeah, bro. I'm allowed to say whatever.
Yeah, you could put in a custom order. They'll deliver to you same day.
Yeah.
I believe at a certain time, obviously.
Yeah, same day before something, or either like next day, like, and they're prompt about it. Give you a couple bag of chips,
And they'll send you a free Doritos
Yeah.
too. Why not? You could also order pizza. Apparently, that's some other brand, but they'll send you a pizza too. You can put that on the order, so you could have some brews, some pizza, same day delivery. That shit faster than Amazon. Like, bro.
Amazon's kind of fast if you got Prime.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm fastest shit I've ever gotten on Amazon. I think it was 12 hours. I got a 12 hours.
I've seen the same day option before. I don't think I've ever gotten it, but I don't.
Yeah.
I always order at night.
I ordered like at 9
same.
It was like 10 p.m. and I got it 9 a.m. Oh, sorry, 10 a.m. Whatever. It was around that. So it was like the next. Someone threw it on the truck at 4 a.m. and got it to my house by 10 a.m. So I was like, okay.
I've been
true.
I've been trying to order less from Amazon. It doesn't work, obviously, because of the convenience. Like, it's a thing where it's like, obviously you know, a year ago I knew they were bad. I think in the year since we've learned a little bit more, but obviously we even before that we knew that they were a bad company, but like ethically bad. I mean, in terms of whoever's involved in the systems are not getting paid, and I haven't read too much about it, but you just know they're a bad company. Exactly. And it's just like, I know that, you know, so basically we got some new lights, and I think all of them are from Amazon, but they came the next day, you know what I mean? And it's like, I tried. I looked up Home Depot, Canadian Tire, like IKEA, like I actually tried looking for the local places, but they were either more expensive for the same thing and the shipping would take longer, you know? So it's like
Amazon, they held us down during this tough time. Because all other places, like even right now, I'll say Amazon has held me down, even though I've had a couple deliveries that are coming from Canada Post, but Canada Post is just behind.
Oh.
I'm waiting on a fucking monitor.
Yeah.
That I ordered a while back, bro. And it's just
sometimes I swear they just don't come. Like,
bro, it just keeps pushing back the date of delivery.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm so annoyed, bro. It's supposed to come this week. It's supposed to come today. And now it's saying next week, and it's been saying that for a while. So Canada Post just needs to get their shit together. There's no more excuses anymore, yo.
The amount of orders where I've gone to the track order thing and it'll be like estimated delivery date is whatever, and that date is like a week. It's like a week ago. Yeah. You know, I'm like, at least update the estimated time, you know? Man. Don't tell me, you know, this shit's coming July 4th and it's July 28th or something, you know what I mean? Like,
I hate those ones too. Those are annoying.
Yeah,
but
they're confused. Like, did I get finessed?
I guess this is where we are in life, though.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're going to get so accustomed to, like, next day shit that anything that's, like, more than 3 fucking days and be like, yo, this is slow.
More than 3 hours.
Like,
now, bro.
I mean,
Once the drones come,
Yo,
once I'm starting
dead
to
ass.
move
Yo,
drones.
drone. There's drone delivery companies that there's startups for drone delivery service. This is a thing.
and then Amazon's gonna buy them.
Yeah, probably. The thing is,
I think that's what they're waiting for. They're just waiting for a company to optimize the
figure it out.
figure it out for them, and then they
mass
just
produce it. Yeah,
That's what all the big companies do, right?
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say is I'm actually looking at a stock for it's called the Canadian Drone Corporation, and they're doing that research for it, and it's like a super cheap stock. Might be some investments there if that industry pops off, which I think it will. Once they get past all the regulations to like actually fly packages around. So I'm sure there's a ton of government regulations they're gonna have to get by, and they're gonna have to get passes for. So
those drones are gonna have to be strapped or something. Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't just be flying drones around with packages.
And then it like falls and it kills someone.
Or no, not even that.
There's gonna be air pirates.
Man, this means man's shooting your shit down, trying to take your shit.
Yeah, it's a crazy world. Like that's gonna change everything. Plus, where are you gonna be able to fly it? Like, I don't know.
Are we not getting packages on rainy days?
There seems like a lot to figure out in that industry or market or sector or whatever you want to call it. So,
I mean, the fact that in my head it's still literally like a drone with like a fucking claw holding a box. Like it's clearly and like when you said that like a rainy day, I'm like it's gotta be more, it's gotta be like a box or something. It's gotta be like a shipping kind of containment.
What if weather like
something.
fucks it up? Or maybe days on bad weather, they're like, sorry, we can't deliver your package.
Yeah.
It literally has to be like a flying metal box carrying other boxes. Like that's what it has to be, like a flying truck basically.
Yeah, and then it's like how much weight can it fly and all this shit, and there's a fly. Look.
Yeah, bear flies out here today. I don't know if it's a window.
It's a fruit fly season.
It's the fruit fly thing. Like I was saying this last week, wasn't I? Like,
fucking fruit.
It's a fruit fly time, yo. Next, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get the random 1-2 flies up in the house. The fruit flies will disappear.
You know what it is? This basement has been more lit than it ever has in the past couple of years. So now you're just noticing them
coming through.
Yeah,
they're like, oh shit.
Is
that at another spot? You guys at another level to this?
But yeah, I'm really excited to see where that shit goes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to figure out.
Don't you think it'd be kind of upsetting if we're getting packages via the air before we have flying cars? Or
a little bit, but
is it like also the same thing?
That as progression.
Yeah. But then it's like a weird thing where it's like there are people who don't want, to live in a world where it's like all self-driving cars.
Which is, I understand, but at the same time, it's just like, dude, it's the future.
Yeah. It's like you take in like there would be no traffic, there would be no accidents. There were accidents,
I don't trust the cars. I don't know, you trust.
If there were accidents, like literally, if a car got into a crash because it glitched or whatever, all the other cars would be like, "Yo, that shit got into an accident," and avoid it. Yeah. So it's like it would, even if there was an accident, there wouldn't be like these big pileups and stuff.
Bro, like you trust people driving? Like,
that's what I mean.
They let everyone drive as long as you haven't done anything illegal. Like the dumbest people in society are behind vehicles.
That's why I look at it when I was getting my G1 and shit.
You know what I mean?
Fuck, that nigga's dumb, so I could do it.
Yeah. That's the thing is there's no real standard for it, right?
Yeah. As long as you pass that little test twice, you're good to go for the rest of your life. Yep. Right? So that's just the way it is. I mean, we have better standards than other countries.
And then the other thing too is like, what would the other argument be? Is like, you like driving. It's like, yeah, okay, but do you do people? Is there anybody who likes driving in rush hour traffic?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like everybody likes driving on an open country road, highway,
in the summer.
Yeah,
I think
Is there somebody who like legitimately enjoys waking up at 7 to take that extra hour and a half?
They're full of shit. I mean, there's some people who are like, okay, I like the whole idea of doing like a little Sunday drive or a little nighttime cruise or whatever. Yeah. That's cool. But I think that point is dumb simply because.
But also they could just come up with like, we could have like little racetracks, like little like open course.
Yeah,
like, just for
they could probably design something
like
where
like how like we don't ride horses down the fucking street anymore, but there's still horse stables where you can go and.
What if they did like a self-driving lane? Where it was like a lane where you're allowed to actually drive your car through whatever that one lane. I don't know. This is like a random idea.
Yeah.
Either way, they're only gonna give you the option.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like your car only self-drives.
Yeah. Even if every car was self-driving and it had to be, and the whole complaint of, oh, like, I can't drive anymore, everyone would adjust to that. It's like the whole idea where people were like, oh, I don't want to wear masks. And then everyone got forced to wear masks. And now everyone's, like, not everyone, but a lot of people are okay with the idea of wearing masks.
I'm sure there was an
adjustment. You got used to it, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there was an adjustment period, too, where, like, people were like, yo, I don't want to ride in this metal death trap. I'd rather stick on my horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then people got in a car and they're like, why the fuck was I ever riding this horse?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's going to be. Like, you're going to...
people just don't like change.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole idea. At the end of the day, it's like, some people are going to miss driving cars temporarily. Once they get used to that, and that's just the way of life, and that's just the way everyone else operates, then everyone will get used to it. And they'll get used to cars driving them places for them, and they don't have to worry about that. And think about it. Think about how much more productive you could be if shit drove you places for you. You could do a bunch of shit.
It's like not only the time would be cut down, but also you have all that time to do whatever you want.
Shit,
yeah, you'd have time to do shit.
Yeah, it's like a combination of how you're able to like read or do whatever you can on the bus. Yeah. But that's only like you're not reading in like rush hour.
But in your own car, you'd be in a quiet space,
exactly,
like with no one around and stuff, and you could fucking nap.
Yeah,
you'd be blessed.
Oh man, that's what I'm trying to do.
You could take fat naps.
Fat nap.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like you wouldn't even need to sleep anymore because you'd get
an extra hour of sleep.
Yeah, you just take the time that you have to travel. That would be the time.
You're excited to hop in the car and nap.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the scenic nap I'm about to have.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even if there was traffic, you know? Like, sick. At least I could just sit back here. I'm sitting in the back seat.
That's the thing. Traffic is peaceful when you can fucking nap. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, as a passenger, traffic, you're just like, as much as you kind of said, oh, we're going to be, it's going to take a little longer to get to our destination. You're like, I'll just close my eyes.
Yeah.
Just close my eyes and just hop on the gram. Just scroll. That would be lit to do, man. With nobody else around and your car's just taking you. That would be sick. Just have that privacy, that alone time in your whip, just to, let me just change the shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me finish my sandwich from this morning that I made and couldn't finish.
Let me have a little brew, you know?
So I'm not driving. So.
Yeah, people would just be happier because they could drink and smoke whenever they wanted, you know?
Do a lot.
Man. It'd be so good.
Maybe we'll get there. I don't know. I hope we can live in a world where that's possible, but we didn't get the brain chips yet because I just want to have a little bit of peace because, it doesn't matter if you have self-driving cars and you have that time to yourself, it doesn't matter if you have the brain chips, right? So
I keep thinking about, bro, we're dying. The robots are probably going to kill us.
Yeah.
So what's the whole brain chip conspiracy like? What
it's not a conspiracy.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
There are conspiracies, but like I don't look at it like that. I look at it like
It's an inevitable truth.
Yeah.
Of what's gonna happen?
It's like there's no like good scenario where chips are inserted into your brain, but it's inevitable. So it's like
it's just like
yes, it will obviously. I
think we will get the chip though.
Yeah, it'll improve all lifestyle. Like, yeah, sure.
Because what the chip is gonna be, it's gonna be a COVID vaccine. You're not gonna be able to have cancer. You're gonna be fucking fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
they're gonna have your location.
Yeah.
And access to your fucking brain.
And then that's the thing is like they already kind of do.
Yeah, they already
location, the brain almost basically. So fuck it, who cares?
Exactly.
So Brain Chip is actually a company.
These are real things, bro.
Brain Chip Incorporated.
Tesla's working on something too.
So
yeah.
Elon.
They're working on fucking nanobots to heal you, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's gonna be a time where humans live forever.
Where they insert
forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Well, you could choose at that point. What if someone wants to die?
Bro, you're gonna.
So not everyone wants to live forever.
Obviously, but soon man's gonna be forced to live forever, and then dying is gonna be the whole sick thing where they're trying to force themselves to die.
Imagine like the lifespan going up to like 200 years.
It's going to.
And then it's like you basically live 2 lifetimes. So at 100 years, you could like essentially start your life over again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You could be like, all right. This is like the second chapter of my life. I'm divorcing my wife.
We kind of already are there. Like if you think about like we've already kind of doubled lifespans in terms of like, people back in the day used to die when they're like 40, 50. Now there are people who can turn their life around when they're 40, 50, right? So it's we're just going to do that again where it's like at 100. Yeah. You can just do it all over again.
You can flip it again the third time.
Because imagine if you were 100 years old and you felt like you were 40.
Yeah.
you could because I mean, if you're the question is if you're 100 years old from 100 to 200, are you just this old shrivelly old man that can't do anything for 100 years?
You're not.
Because that sounds terrible. I'd rather just probably die. To be honest,
that's what the nanochip defeats.
But if I'm 100,
aging and everything.
If I'm 100 and I have the health and capability of a 40-year-old or whatever, or even younger, then fuck yeah, let's get going. That's a second life right there, basically.
Beating it from the back.
Yeah, yo.
At 103, beating it.
You're gonna have 100-year-olds, fucking 20-year-olds.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's a whole new level of age.
But you're gonna look gorgeous at 100. You know what I mean? You'll be gorgeous. You're like, yeah, I'm sick. That we won't live for. But I think us, like our age, we're definitely dying by the robots. A robot's gonna punch our guts out or something. Realistically, that's what I see. I see happening to us. Like it's the plan is to die peacefully, but the day of our deaths, the robots snap and they just hit an old folks' home and it's done. You know.
Yeah.
You know, the word robot came from the word slave from Czechoslovakia. Yeah. It was like a Czech play in like the 1920s, and that was the first time the word robot was used. So
robots.
I remember when I read that, I'm like, yo, like. It's weird because that's what robots are used for in sci-fi and shit. Like
there are
this idea of of these not suppressed, but like these things that we kind of created that do the work for us. And
are they suppressed? Maybe.
Well, if they have intelligence, right? Like, and we are giving them intelligence.
Define it,
now, right?
Define robot. Then we're gonna get into the robot civil rights movement.
Yeah.
They deserve rights. They are creatures. They are living things.
Well, that's the problem is we're getting to the point where we are instilling them with a certain amount of like
knowledge.
Yeah, and like feeling that they have a purpose in this world beyond whatever.
Well, the second they become self-aware is the second that happens.
Yeah.
As soon as they're like, okay.
What if they already are?
And there's waiting. There's waiting.
They're just planning.
Because they don't need to tell that.
They've seen the dogs get built. They're like sick.
Yeah,
we have pets.
Yeah,
they're waiting for the tings to come through. I think they're ready to go. Like once we can start fucking robots, they're like, all right, yo.
Oh god.
You ain't stressed.
Or they're waiting for the brain chips. So then, as soon as we get them,
then they just turn us off.
In.
Yeah, bro. They just take over.
We just become Airbnbs, you know.
Jeez.
Fuck.
That's deep, bro.
So they've already tested brain implants on animals, right? So they've done stuff with rats where they've put implants into rats' heads apparently for certain things. It's more to like read like brain scans and shit.
Yeah.
They can route patients for Parkinson's disease, clinical depression, stuff like that. So they've already done some stuff like that, but yeah, it'd be funny to see. I don't know what Elon.
See, that's the thing is like there are so many. Obviously, there are so many useful and great applications for things like these, like disease based, and then like that's where these things start. But then as soon as somebody throws a whole bunch of money at them, it's like the people who are throwing the money at them are obviously going to try.
Yeah, because like for all, what if they start feeding like advertisement into our fucking heads?
Yeah,
like they brainwash us to literally go buy something,
which they already are doing with TV. Like it is, exactly.
Like a
it's
subtle
the same
way,
thing. It's
but to actually enter my brain and do that, then it becomes a problem, right? Or
see, that's the thing is like everything that is possible is like we have knowledge or like we have a context to like what they could do. It's like, okay, yeah, they could track your location, they could do whatever. It doesn't need to be like this very specific thing. It's like, yeah, they'll control your mind. They can do it with all of these things that already exist, and it's like just having it. The brain chip is just the thing that like unlocks all of those things to happen in like the most efficient way possible, because we already are walking around with a little computer in our pockets at all times that tracks our location.
Very true.
Just gotta put it in our brain next.
Yeah,
very true. They know exactly what we're doing. I mean,
search history.
And it's funny because we all opt into it. Unknowingly or
that's
knowingly.
What it'll be the terms and conditions. You're gonna see it in your head and be like, skip, accept.
Cool. Basically,
there's gonna be a next function like Face ID.
Yeah.
Realistically,
fingerprint scanner. Oh fuck yeah! I just want to get in my phone quick.
Yeah.
Why is there a man on my phone naked?
That is on a.
Let's just not. Next.
Instagram.
But yeah, man, that's how they hide those things, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be in our lifetime, but
The brain chip?
yeah.
I think
the brain
we'll
chip's
see.
happening.
We'll see China get.
We'll
it.
see a chip.
Yeah.
China, I can see China like putting it onto their people.
We might have. I think we're gonna have the arm chip at the bare minimum. Maybe not.
What's
the
an arm chip? What do you mean?
The vaccine, the COVID vaccine. They're gonna just shoot that into your arm.
Like the vaccine's gonna be a chip?
Yeah, they're gonna have the chip in the vaccine,
Okay.
and then that will track you however needed. This will be the first.
Oh,
round.
so
And then if there's like a new
Oh,
disease,
that's
you
the
just you download the
conspiracy.
update and then you
Yeah.
just
so that's the
attach
conspiracy.
the USB.
Those are the
Yeah.
anti-vaxxers that are saying that the vaccine is going to be a chip.
I wouldn't say the anti-vaxxers. I say the woke ones.
The woke
Yeah,
anti-vaxxers. So
yeah.
that's
The woke ones.
That's the conspiracy.
They're not anti-vaxxers,
So they're hiding.
yeah.
They're hiding. Well, there's anti-vaxxers that
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like believe.
Yeah.
Like
It's-
they
yeah,
believe
the
like it's
same
like
guy.
Nobody
alien,
likes-
alien serum or some shit.
Nobody likes anti-vaxxers.
Oh fuck! I know a couple anti-vaxxers.
You know what's funny? It's like they try to blow your mind and be like, "Yo, do you know that they put a little bit of the virus into the vaccine?"
Yeah,
Like,
it's
yeah,
that's
it's called-
vaccine 101.
that's
I learned
called
that in
anti-
grade 6 in science.
It's
bro.
antibodies, you dumbass. It's like
Yeah.
that's the point. You have to. Your body builds immunity by being in contact with the virus. That's
Yeah.
the point. So
Duh, stupid.
that's how our immune systems work. But basically, yeah, anti-vaxxers, they believe that. That's kind of crazy.
Serum?
Yeah, the
Alien?
fucking alien serum or some shit, bro. There's some crazy people who were saying that shit.
Anyways.
Yeah, bro.
We'll have the arm chip in our
Those
lifetime.
people are literally. And I'd love to have like a flat earther on the podcast because those people.
I would not.
Those people are.
I'm not having a conversation with that person.
Those people are fucking hilarious.
I'm
That's
not
why.
talking to them.
Why not?
The day you have somebody on here, I'm
I just be
blocking
like, "Yo,
that
go
out of
fall off, bro."
here. Yeah, bro.
Yo,
Walk
get
until you fall.
Yeah.
Bro.
I don't even give a shit. My girlfriend knows this girl. She's like kind of like her friend, but like not really sometimes.
So
This-
this is her friend, yeah.
Yeah, like loosely, you know what I mean? Like one of those friends that kind of hops in and out of your life randomly. Basically, this person knows fucking like every single like believes in every single conspiracy ever. Like it's crazy. Like everything from like not wearing masks to like fucking I know it's not a conspiracy, but believes that that's not
It
relevant.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should know that it is when they do believe that it's a fucking conspiracy
Yeah.
and you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To like blah blah blah, like the vaccine stuff to
The
fucking
5G.
The 5G.
The 5G shit was real, bro.
The 5G shit's pretty crazy.
I saw, man.
She was
Putting
like
up the shit.
she
I
was,
saw it while
she
we were
was
all
going
locked
on
up.
about how getting your temperature taken by one of those temperature guns shoots radiation into your brain
Bro, we use those in restaurants.
and fucks your penal whatever.
Your
Oh,
pineal
pineal-
gland.
Pineal gland, yeah.
Or pineal?
Pineal
Have you heard
gland.
about that
Yeah,
one
yeah.
too? Yeah,
No, I
there's-
haven't heard that
There's
one,
a
but
bunch of shit
sure,
like
yeah.
that. Like it's crazy. On top of that, she a vegan.
That's just the type of woman you're not supposed to mess around with. Simply, you know what I mean? Like
Well, vegans are like her.
her.
I can't stack that many conspiracies on top of
That's
each
what
other.
I'm saying.
Like,
That
it's
type
like
of
you
person,
literally-
like, if you're fucking a girl like that, and she's probably fucking somebody, right? Or no? Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're fucking somebody
Definitely.
like that, you're sick too. Like, you genuinely, you have a problem.
Or you literally just don't care and you're just trying to.
That's
get
just
it.
crazy to me. How do you have a conversation with somebody like that?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like at this point you might as well like be a flat earther. I wouldn't be surprised if that was.
We should get one on and just like stare at them for like an hour and a half.
You guys can. I'll be up front, yeah.
Flat earthers are funny, man. Like they'll literally like some of their reasons for why it's flat is hilarious. Like they'll look at a map, like literally like you Google map and be like, why does the map look like that? Like it looks flat. The Earth must be flat.
Yeah.
Explain that. You know, how do I not walk off the edge of the Earth? Crazy shit like that. I'm like, dude.
I don't know how you.
Bro, you can see there's a horizon. You can see the sun literally go over the horizon.
Nah,
It's
bro.
not that crazy. Like
No, you don't see it go over the horizon.
Or, yeah, don't you?
No.
You don't.
It comes up from the side, bro. Flat, bro.
Yeah, because it's a big ass fucking pancake,
Yeah.
and it just goes over it.
Yeah. Just like that. That's what the sun does in the day. It's that, yeah.
But do they? So do they think it's like
They have
like,
photos of the Earth, bro.
Like, do they think it's just flat, or do they think it's like a semicircle? Like, do they at least admit that it's a sphere, or
No sphere.
No, they literally think this is
The only circle that there is
two-dimensional.
this is a
pancake.
two-dimensional piece of land
But we're three-dimensional.
that is
so
floating in
That's what it
space.
is. We're just walking on a crust.
So they also think that this is all it is. Then, like, the Earth is only this, right? Or like, because you can't imagine that there's just a floating circle. Because how do you imagine a 2D shape in 3D space? Like, it just doesn't make sense, right?
If the Earth,
Because what is that other dimension? Because you need the third dimension, right? So like, even if it's like a centimeter thick, that's still a third dimension, right?
I feel you.
So it's like, is it just a flat, and like there's nothing?
I wonder. I don't know. Because I would say there has to be.
Like, do they have to admit? So they think it's like a cylinder or something, right? Like,
what's the WAP like?
Because they've dug before, you know. Yeah, what's the
what's the WAP? How thick is the WAP? You know what I mean?
That's the official word for the
WAP.
It's not the crust anymore.
Yeah, the crust.
The first
wet
that
ass
first.
pussy.
Yeah.
Yo, that word is so nice to say. WAP.
WAP.
I love that.
It just sounds sick.
And just hearing wet ass pussy is nice. That's just nice. Like, it sounds quenching.
Stop, man.
It's very nice.
Too vulgar. Too vulgar.
What's vulgar?
You're in a man's ears saying that shit right now.
Sorry, Gothro.
Alright, we're gonna cut that here. Sorry.
I don't know why Ian's moaning into the fucking mic, bro.
That's because my muscles are really sore from working out. I went back to the gym like first time in like 5 fucking months because of COVID and shit. So my muscles are really sore. But anyways, welcome back to Lost Knocks Podcast. We're back after that quick second break. Thank you.
Back to moan.
Back to
moaning.
Wait, what?
Some WAP and a moan. That's what you
Couple
get.
WAPs.
Yeah.
Can we talk about WAP real quick? Just real quick. You guys like the
shout
music
out
video?
WAP, yo.
You guys like the music video?
I love the music video.
It's sick.
It's pretty sick,
song.
right? So there's a lot of people hating on it. As
Yeah,
usual.
it was weird. Like, I don't really go searching for this shit, but I didn't see a lot of hate, so I don't.
I saw hate just from the headlines of people that were hating.
But that's the thing is, like, I don't follow or look out for those people. So it's like when I saw that there was hate, I'm like, I can imagine there is a group of people who are hating, right? Like,
like Cardi B. Sorry.
Like any other thing in life, but
yeah, exactly.
Let's
Like
give it
everything,
attention.
Cardi B gets a lot of hate because she a woman and she like empowering and blah 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 blah. And there's gonna be people who are going to like not fuck with
Both of
that
them.
energy,
like,
right?
I've seen the criticism from Meg Thee Stallion where it's like, oh, she went to college. Why does she rap about this shit? Why doesn't she rap about smart shit? It's like, why? What is that?
But like,
why
you went to college.
Where's that responsibility on her?
Yeah.
Fucking 2 Chainz went full
Chainz
scholarship,
Exactly,
bro.
you know,
has like a whole
we have some of the best stripper joints
Yeah.
to have come out.
2
ever.
Chainz music is like
This guy went
far
to
from intelligent.
whatever
Whoa,
state
chill.
university, and to say
In that sense, you know
all
what
I
I
want
mean?
for my
You know what I
birthday is a
mean.
big booty hole. Like, that's what he went
Yeah.
to 4 years of university for. Like, fuck off, man.
She got a big booty, so she
Yeah.
called me Big Booty. He rapped booty with booty.
And that's not shitting on 2 Chainz, because some of the shit that he does say, I'm like,
That's
that does.
Is that the line?
Yeah.
She
got
called me.
she got a big booty,
So I call her big booty.
Yeah.
Something like that.
What are you talking about?
What did I say?
You said she got a big booty, so she called me big booty, and I'm like,
Which is kind of sick too, still.
that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. So what we have Ian doing on this podcast?
Yo, same shit, yo. You know what I mean?
moaning
Fuck.
into your ears and then saying shit like that, bro. Anyways, yes. Yes,
I'm a little
are
like
right, though.
wavy on this pod, so I might stutter a little bit.
These Lost Craft ciders got him tipsy.
Yeah, yo, I'm drinking a little more tonight than normal.
Yeah, we had to take the Uber here.
Times are tough.
But yeah, no, I like that WAP, bro.
Yeah, I think it was a great song.
The controversy I did see was like the cancel Kylie or like remove Kylie Jenner thing. I saw that.
Oh yeah, that's
annoying because it's like, no, we're not gonna. The video's been shot. We're not putting out a new edit.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up. And how do you think Kylie got into the fucking music video?
Yeah.
She didn't just come on the set one day.
Yeah,
She's
that's the
talking
thing.
to Meg.
See, that's
She's
the thing is
talking
like
to Cardi.
you can have your opinions about Kylie Jenner and shit being in or having privilege and blah blah blah. It's like if Cardi B and Meg decided that she should be in the video, or who the director, I'm sure, and even if it was the director's call, I'm sure Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion had a say in it because it's their song.
100%.
It's like if they wanted her to be in the video, then who are you gonna say?
Exactly.
You know
It
what
was
I mean?
probably them.
Yeah.
I will say it was my least favorite part of the video.
Yeah.
Was,
I mean,
I think
was,
it would have.
she
like,
needs to be busting ass or something.
I think if that, like, I remember seeing somebody say if that
She
was
wouldn't do
Rihanna, that would have been crazy. And I think Rihanna.
if it was Rihanna,
that should have been Rihanna. I think.
If it was Rihanna,
Yeah.
I would have. Woo!
Yeah.
Because Rihanna would have thrown it back too. If she had
I
to.
think
But she wouldn't even need to have. But she would have just had this
just walking
drip, like,
through thick, with
yeah,
her hair fucking flowing, and she's wearing
Yeah.
like the same type of. Oh my god, she looked tasty.
I think the criticism with Kylie was that like she's white, so
Well, and also who she
And then
is. I think it's
people-
more than that. I
yeah.
think if it was,
That was part of it.
If it was a white girl that people were okay with, I think there's been a little bit of like
Iggy, like who else?
No
would
one's fine with Iggy.
that's. I mean, yeah. Like, is there a white girl that is there a white girl that people do like who like generally accept? I don't know.
I mean, Kylie.
There are, bro.
I mean, like because people thought it's a woman, but also black empowerment type of thing, and then they have
It
a
was
white,
what it wasn't,
and then they
'cause-
have a white girl
yeah.
in it, and then
Yeah, I think-
especially Kylie,
Yeah.
and then.
I think it was just for the women, but I'm not
Yeah.
looking into it as a black
But
thing.
no, but that's the thing. Like, it's not a race thing. That's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people
they're-
were making
they're
it a race
about-
thing,
Yeah,
and even
yeah.
and
Well,
even
fucking
Cardi brought
Rosalia
it
was
up.
in it as well. She's Spanish. She's not black. She's
That's
not
right.
white. Well, she's Spanish. So you would call her white. You
But
know.
that's the thing, Spanish. But
Yeah.
the Spanish people and the Latin folks, the black people like to take too. you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
They're
But
kinda
like
in this
she's not
mix.
even like she's Spanish.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know?
But so it's like you can't even make it a
They
black.
get to flip
you know?
sides,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Like they just get to be like, okay, like whatever's good, I'm gonna be more like not colored, and then I could be colored. So it's kind of
Well, that's weird too, because I mean the Kardashians are Armenian, so it's like, well, I guess
They're not-
Kylie Jenner is like,
Yeah,
she's
Kylie
white.
Jenner's white
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Bruce or
Yeah.
sorry,
Caitlyn.
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 oh, it was Bruce at the time, so that is accurate.
Yeah, I don't know how that. I don't know how that.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to throw you in under
Yeah.
the bus. Yeah. I'm trying to get you under the bus.
I know. No, it is Caitlyn, but
No, you're right. Yeah, yeah, it was Bruce at the time.
that's fine.
Who's her mom?
Kris Jenner.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell?
Wait, no, that's her mom.
Yeah.
That's her mom.
Well, she was Kris Kardashian before, right?
Oh fuck! I never even.
Do you understand all the card? I know it's not really a.
I thought they were
Something to
I thought
focus on,
They
but-
were married in too.
So no, Kris
Makes
Jenner.
sense, though.
Yeah, Kris Jenner and Robert Kardashian had the
Yeah.
Khloe, Kourtney, and Kim. Bruce Jenner and previous wife, I think, had two other kids. What are their names? Like Brody.
Oh
and-
yeah, fucking
Yeah.
Brody and whatever.
Yeah.
Those
Okay,
ones
that's
are,
what I was thinking.
Those
That's
are
it.
like the not famous ones.
No,
Yeah.
no, you're wild. Don't say that.
What do they do? What?
They were on the show too. Yeah.
They're on the show.
I never
We're
watched-
talking about the Hills.
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
Ian.
Brody and the guy on
I
the.
can't remember. It's
Yeah,
Spencer,
yeah.
but that's not his
Yeah.
actual
Yeah,
family.
yeah,
member.
yeah.
The Hills. Okay.
And then and then Kris and Bruce, Caitlyn had
I don't fucking know, man.
Kendall and Kylie.
You need
I
to get
know-
up on this shit.
I don't
bro.
need to know the Kardashians.
You need to get up on this shit. You have a podcast.
All
you
their
have
names.
a responsibility.
All their names start with K.
I mean, we're gonna
Oh,
talk about them
shit.
once a month at least. So
Exactly.
I hate
You might as well
that.
do your research, man.
I
you might as well
fucking
get a
hate that.
fucking watch an episode.
if
Okay.
you think about it, you probably thought about the Kardashians at least once a week for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Right.
So give it
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're in our fucking face.
Yeah.
And even when you don't want them to be,
up. Give it up, man.
I mean, I'm gonna take Kanye's side with all this. Chris is
I'll
Chris.
never take Kanye's side.
He's wild, bro.
Chris is evil.
Chris is evil, bro.
That's what he was saying, And then he asked Chris to make a meme. Did you see his tweet or whatever? He said that Chris makes the best playlist.
That's what I'm saying, guys. None of this is real.
Yeah, I believe that still. Yeah.
None of this
He
is
said
real.
Chris makes
man.
the best playlist.
I bet you it's just like all or new Kanye. You know.
Kanye.
Yeah.
Kanye.
That dude Kanye.
Kanye. Dude, that's just so funny.
Oh
Dude.
man.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's been Kanye news, but I don't think we need
So-
to get into it because there's just
There
always
is,
going to be
yeah,
Kanye news, and it's
Kanye's-
just not even it's not relevant.
Something about money and his campaign, him owing money or something like that. He is running. He is on the ballot on some states, believe it or not. He's on the ballot. And I
Apparently,
heard
it's not possible for him to win the electoral vote or something based on his eligibility. I didn't see anything. I didn't read into it, but I just saw a tweet where it's
But-
just a reminder he's not able to win. Basically.
I've heard there's some scummy stuff coming out of the Trump administration where
Really?
Trump. Yeah. Okay. That's a very common statement.
Yeah.
But in relation to Kanye, I believe they've been trying to push Yeezy on the ballot. They want people to vote for Kanye because it takes votes away from Biden.
If they make him vice president, bro.
So
I swear to God, I don't know what I want to, because I would have said like I'll just die because what's the point of living anymore if that happens? But it's probably gonna happen, so I don't know.
There's no point in dying. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't live over there, so if you lived in the States, yeah, kill yourself.
But we live so close, you know.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
we live close, but I'm not.
But I guess with the COVID shit, as long as those borders stay locked up,
the border stays locked up good enough, like I'm cool, bro.
If Trump and Kanye get elected, I hope those borders just stay closed past COVID. Just lock them up forever.
Lock them up, man.
Just lock off the states from the rest of the world and let's just
move
on.
Not going to the States.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that recently. I was just like, yo, what if the racists they want their own place and they don't like to travel? Just have the states.
They don't like. You're right. They don't like traveling.
You don't want to travel.
You don't want anybody in your country from anywhere
We'll go to the
else.
Caribbean, bro. I don't give a fuck.
I think this is a good idea. Just give them America.
Yeah, they can have Canada too.
I like Canada though.
That's true.
We need to hold on to Canada just in case of the zombie apocalypse.
Because
this is where it's.
This is where it's at. Yeah.
This is where it's gonna be.
But then they're gonna be the ones who are getting hit hard with the zombie shit though. So.
Yeah, and they're gonna be the zombies. But at least we get to shoot them.
That's facts. Yeah.
But hey.
But then they're gonna build a wall for us, and then we get to use it against them to kill them.
That's a wild story right there.
They built the wall that kept themselves in, and then we didn't need to worry about them anymore.
But yeah, man, I don't know. Give them America.
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
Just like Quebec too. Like fucking give them Quebec. We don't need that shit. Let all the racists from Canada go to Quebec. All the racists from the States go to the South.
Yeah.
Or take America.
Just take America.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Take America.
I don't know. Nice. Maybe mans want to hold on to New York. I don't know. I don't really care. But
we don't need none of it.
Yeah.
Take America. Have all the spots. Have all of America.
Like LA is great, but like that shit's gonna get earthquake to death.
That's why you keep them
and
there.
forest fire. Yeah, exactly.
You keep them there for that to go through that alone. When they need somebody to help them, they're like, shit.
When they're throwing their Coors Light over the forest fires, they're like, oh shit, how do you put out fires?
Exactly. Dumbasses. Fucking dumbasses.
Anyways, we're gonna get into our actual topic. I guess something a little more serious. I don't know what you want to say, but growth. What is growth? How do you grow as an individual or a professional or in any way? Growth in general. We're always growing, but are we always growing?
How do plants grow?
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis.
So what is the photosynthesis of life?
What is the photosynthesis of you?
Of success.
First off, question, do we stop growing? Do people stop growing? Ever?
You mean in
like people do, but
do you mean like
you don't need to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Physically, yes, everybody stops growing, but you don't need to.
Physically.
You don't need
physically.
to.
That's not what I meant.
And then it's like, physically people stop growing, and there are people who choose to stop growing, but
right.
I don't think it's ever a mindset that you need to turn off.
Well, I think people grow. Even the people who choose to stop growing do grow in some way, in a like a micro level. Like you learn little things and pick up on little things daily that add to your life.
That's facts.
Right.
What was I thinking? Yeah, what was I thinking about the other day?
But growth, the idea of growth is something that is positive or something that's being pushed forward to be better. And not everyone is doing that. Some people are taking steps backwards. So that's not growth. Mm-hmm. You are changing, but you're not growing. So there's two different ways of thinking about it. Right?
Well, if you get better at something bad, are you growing, or is that a different word?
Get better at something bad.
Yeah, like
if you become more of an alcoholic.
Yeah. If you get better at learning how to steal, or if you get better at murder, is that?
Holy shit.
Are you growing?
I think that's still growth.
Yeah. right? Because you have to look at it as growth. Yeah.
So, what is growth?
Yeah.
Simply changing your ideas or your beliefs or your opinions or whatever.
I think that's a good point. Is like people I think don't understand how much growth has to do with like unlearning or destroying or like destruction.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of destruction involved with
yeah
getting better. I think if I think about the difference between me and where I was 10 years ago, it's less about what I can do better and more about like what I stopped doing and started doing instead kind of thing or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like so one way that I think I've grown since maybe I was like 18, 19 to now, it's not that long, but a decent amount of time. I've grown in a way where I look at money a little bit more like something that I need to actually take care of, something I need to actually think about. Money is not just, because when you're 18, 19, money is just something you have to spend on shit. Most people, like, who don't have any major responsibilities yet. And some people have a kid at 19 and their whole life gets changed. And there's situations like that, but basically, like, for some kid who's just living at home or whatever, and they make some side money or whatever, then most of the time it's just being spent on shit.
Yeah,
like
whatever they want.
Shit that whatever they want. Like, cool, you want AirPods or whatever, you want Jordans, whatever. You're gonna buy it. But now, even if it hasn't even been that long from now, I look at money a little bit more like something I need to save or invest, or something I need to take care of, because it can get out of hand. And if it gets too out of hand early on, it's tougher to fix later. And it just makes your life worse, you know. And credit, the way our system works, credit is so important. So it's something you just have to like work on. So that's something that I've personally grown, or I think I've changed over the last few years, right? Because I used to buy a lot of shit. I used to buy like clothes and food, more food than I do now, like that I don't need to. And I've taken a step back and I've learned how to kind of save, and I'm still learning, but yeah, and even like as little money as I make, I try to save. So that's like an example.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
I was even gonna say, what this whole topic, what is growth, was even meaning to was, how do I put this into words? How do you recognize it? You know what I mean? Or how are you able to see that?
How do you monitor it? You know?
How do you monitor your own growth?
I thought about this.
Yeah, because you, like you said, like, you know, sometimes you might think, or, you know, you think you're doing something and it's not actually leading to growth, but it's like, what is that metric? You know, it's like, what is the thing that if nobody else can tell you what it is, or like how are you supposed to keep track of it? You know, because like that, I think that's where a lot of problems come, where it's like people think they're doing something that's leading to growth, but then they hit a brick wall. Then they realize that, you know, they're kind of wasting their time. But then it's like, then they get into that mindset where it's like, oh shit, I was wasting my time this whole time. But you got to take that and realize that that's also growth. If you're taking like 10 steps backwards and then you have to start back and get back there, that's still growth, right? It's like how you look at it too, I guess, right?
I want people obsess and fixate on time, and I don't want to start this because it's going to waste my time, or I might end up wasting my time if it ends up going anywhere. And the way I see it is, yes, I mean, we only have so much time on this earth, but I think as long as you're doing something productive and you're doing something that's working towards some sort of goal that you believe you want to achieve, I think that is productive, and that's not time wasted. I think time wasted is not doing anything.
Yes.
Like, I think at the end, that's true time wasting, is literally like not doing anything. You haven't tried anything new. You haven't created anything new. You haven't learned anything new, or whatever. You haven't, whatever your goal is, if it's go to the gym or just learn how to write a song, make a beat, fucking whatever, wherever it might be. If you haven't done anything, that's like you're stagnant. Like, that's not growth. That's true wasting time. Even if you fucking spend 5 years on a business and it failed, and this happens with a lot of entrepreneurs, fuck, that's 5 years wasted. It's not. It's like like a lot of entrepreneurs will fail multiple businesses before having a successful one. Can't look at that as like 5-10 years wasted. Just look at that as like learning curve, or learning to
and I
actually
feel
have
like
a
most
successful
people
business.
who ultimately do find success they always point out those moments where they would consider them their biggest failures, because those were their biggest life lessons. That's where they like learned how to actually learn how to make it work, right?
Exactly.
So it's hard, because sometimes you can think that you're just, it's like you feel like you're not moving, or you feel like you're walking backwards, but like you have to kind of let that go and be like, how is this contributing to my growth? Like, how am I going to take this? Because ultimately you're not going to be in control of your time all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's things where it's like, there's things that you can't control. There's things that you can control, but you don't know what you're supposed to do with this time. And like you do something and it's wrong. It's like, but that is something that you have to take and be like, oh, I was wrong about this. Now I got to go this way. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, it's weird, because I think we everybody must feel this sometimes, where you start regretting some of the things you've done, and then you're like, okay, but like, would I have rather just like never experienced this ever? And then I always get to a point where I'm like, for the most part, it's like, no, I'd rather have done it, because now, it's like you have that perspective of it.
And a lot of the time, I feel like those bad experiences kind of lead to better things.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can, all you need to do is wait a little bit and see like the full picture of it, and be like, oh, okay, this is where it was leading. This is why I had to overcome this thing,
Yeah. I always look at it. I look at growth usually. It's if you want to monitor your growth too, especially that it's all about you really, like, either the way you set your goals or reflecting on, where you have come from.
Yeah.
So when I say like the way you set your goals, a lot of the time you could check out if you are completing your goals and your tasks, if you've actually written them down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're actually visualized, if they're actually out. Like we've said before, get a fucking whiteboard or something that you see every day, that has a list of stuff that you at least have to do. You know what I mean? And then from there, you check off the stuff on your list that you got to do.
At least at the end of the day, you can be like, all right, I did this. Because sometimes you can be like, oh, somebody be like, oh, what'd you do today? And you're like, nothing. Mm-hmm. And then they get you to think about it, and then you're like, oh, wait, no, I did bear shit today.
I did bear shit today.
But if you were to just stop and not think about it, or because sometimes you don't even remember, you might just go to sleep thinking you did jack shit that day. It's like, no, if you just stop and be like, wait, no, I learned like a lot of random things today,
Yeah.
If you take every day to at least tell yourself, hey, I want to be 1% better than I was yesterday. Then that's
what the goals writing down helps. Is like, it's like, at least that even if you didn't do anything else, or if you failed at some other things, it's like, I got these things done, so I'm still working towards what I want ultimately, because that's the thing, is like, who's supposed to tell you if you're growing or failing or getting better or worse? Is like you.
Exactly. It's all relying on you. Really.
Yeah, so ultimately it comes down to how much you are aware, or how much you believe in what you're doing is going towards.
Yeah, no one else is like really watching you like that. So you're the one to figure it out. I was gonna say I know a lot of artists probably listen and that make an actual tangible thing, like make music or movies or something. I was gonna say, just if you want to see how much you've grown, look at your old shit.
Yeah.
Look at your old songs, your old music, your old videos.
Yeah.
Your old writing, whatever. Look and like most of us will cringe at it.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, what the fuck? Like, this is.
But even that, shit. Like, I know, like, when I make a song, sometimes when I make a song, I'll make it in like 40 minutes. The beat will come together and like whatever, and then freestyle hook, and then it's finished in like 2 hours, and you're like, why can't I do this every day? But it's like, it wasn't just that 2 hours that it made to make that specific song in that project file. It was the 10 other beats that I had to open up a Logic file and like spend hours trying to come up with a melody and not coming up with anything, experimenting with a whole bunch. Like, it took like, you have to consider the 20, 30 songs, project files that were just failures, that were just like, I didn't even save for it to get to that point where I could write it. Because like, when I do make that song and finish that song that took whatever, like 2 hours, there's little parts of it where it's like, oh yeah, I remember, like, I did a little bit of that on this thing that I tried, and this part came from, so it's always like, it is a growing experience, right? Like, sometimes you just have to wake up and try like 10 different beats, nothing sounds good, you go to sleep thinking you did nothing, and then the next day, 30 minutes, boom, you have a song done.
Exactly.
But you have to consider that, no, it didn't take you 30 minutes to make that song, it took you 2 days. right?
Also, look at again, back to monitoring. Look at how efficient you now are and the things that you are able to accomplish in a day. So maybe for me, it's more like my examples are best when it comes to like editing. For us, for example, our reactions. I can now do that. I can whip up a reaction video. I can edit that in less than an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before it used to take me a little while because the computer was slow and because of this and that. But even when my computer was slow, I was able to whip up a reaction in about 40 minutes to 50 minutes. But the export's a whole other story.
Yeah, being able to create a process or a workflow that is somewhat like a formula or that is a little bit repetitive can help you produce things quicker.
Yes.
Right. So, and it goes back. I mentioned this in the past, like building your tasks into like batches.
Yeah.
Meaning like working on very similar tasks at a certain time of the day or the week or whatever. So if you're doing editing related to this type of video, then do all that editing in that time frame instead of jumping from different tasks and
it's like conditioning yourself, basically.
Because it's like different things take different mindsets and
did we talk
different...
about this before, like conditioning yourself?
I think so, but you know, we never know what we talk about here.
Because I remember one time I was like smoking and I was like thinking like, yo, can you know, the Pavlov dogs and stuff, I'm like, can you condition yourself? Like, can you create a response where it's like, you know, every time you sit down to study or read, you know, you put on a certain light or you wear a certain clothes. And it's like there were people who said like it's not as drastic as conditioning a dog, but like let's say every time you sit down to edit a video, you wear the same sweater. It will, after a certain amount of time, like if you just put that sweater on, it will psychologically affect you where you will get into the mind state. So like timing and that too is like doing it at the same time. That's why people talk about routines so much.
Routine is so powerful for humans because we're like biologically we're like routine type animals. Like,
and it's funny, you know, because I think especially us as artists, we talk so much about, you know, fuck 9 to 5 and blah blah blah, and that is why we do what we do. But it's like as much as we need our own freedom, there is that routine that we need to instill on ourselves, and it's not as harder to implement, but it's like it's something that it's weird because it's like we know that we're saying fuck, you know, systems and routines, but we also have to monitor ourselves and give that to ourselves too, or else we won't grow. We know that we can't just wake up and be like, all right, today is, you know, open for anything. You know,
I get stressed out by that. Like everyone's different, but I need a little bit of structure and whatever.
I mean, there are some days where I need that, where I'm like, yo, I could literally do anything.
Yeah. Those are the do nothing days or whatever, or the experimental days. Yeah, where you could just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna like do something and maybe it'll lead to something new. But routine is so powerful and to keep your goals on track and to so you're able to not get just be productive and efficient, you know.
When it comes down to it, it's just about relying on yourself, and you should be able to rely on yourself, you know. You just gotta be there. You gotta, because no one else is gonna be there for you, even your closest friends. Even these guys right here with me. Like, I don't expect them to hold me accountable for everything in my fucking life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Only certain things, and even if that, I don't expect.
And that's the thing. It's like even the things that we do together, it's not like we're holding, like you are, but it's like you still, just as a person, just as you're still holding yourself accountable for that, even if somebody else is holding you accountable for it. It's just like, because we're so used to, you know, keeping track of everything else in our lives, we're just keeping track of everything in our life, you know?
You got to kick your ass a little bit sometimes. Force yourself to get up out of bed. Force yourself to do that. And you do that enough to yourself, you build a habit. I think you can build a habit in, what is it? It's like 60 or 90 days. Yeah. You do that enough, you can build
21 days, I think.
21 days? Yeah. Even shorter.
I
Fuck.
believe that's not even that long.
Yeah.
Dude, that's 3 weeks, bro.
Yeah, that's a couple weeks. If you literally... I was thinking... I knew it was some type of multiple of 3.
I've heard... Yeah.
But, it's like... As long as you're doing something consistently, you build that habit, it'll then become a habit, you know? I've seen it happen to myself where I build bad habits in... literally a few days, and I'm like, fuck.
And that's the thing, is bad habits are often easier to...
Yeah, exactly. Bad habits are easier just to pull up on you and stay there for a while. So
a lot, because a lot of bad habits are like like they're like they make you feel better. They're like
quick fixes,
self gratification, like type of things, like, and those things are easy to gravitate towards. You know what I mean?
You just gotta hide those in between the moments where you need to work. Mm-hmm. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like you have to you have to know that when you're doing it that you like earned it, or like you know why you're doing it, like this whole self-care type of thing. I think it's made it a lot easier to have this conversation. But it's like when you do something, when I'm sitting down and then, you know, I'm stressed, I'm like, yo, I should be working, and then I'm like, no, I work like 8 hours today, I can fucking relax right now. And like you kind of have to just be like, even though it does feel like it's you know, negative growth or whatever, you have to be like, no, this is actually helping, because if I were to try and go back to work right now, I would be doing nothing as well. Yeah. You know?
That's true. You can like working more is not always the answer.
Because there are people who could sit at their computer for like 12 hours a day and accomplish nothing. And then there are people who could like be walking around or watching TV all day, and they come up with an idea that's more productive to their what they're doing, you know?
It's so true. Everyone's different. Some people can sit down and work and lock in and work on something for an entire day and be productive, you know, most minutes of the day. But not everyone's built like that, and some people need to actually, like, 8 hours is their cap. Welcome back, Lost Socks Podcast 46.
Welcome back, I like that, yeah.
Lost Socks Podcast 46. We're back. We're talking about growth and shit. You know, you gotta grow, because if you ain't growing, you ain't moving. You ain't showing.
If you're not a grower, you're a shower, right?
You know, you gotta be one or the other.
What are men, Joe?
You know? Yo, what are men?
We talked about this before.
Are we gonna go around the circle and ask?
It's a growth podcast. I believe.
It's a growth podcast.
Yeah. We're a grower still. Yeah. I'm a grower. I'm a grower.
I'm a grower still.
Yeah. I think most mans are growers.
Grow gang, yeah.
Like
grow to disappointment. Oh, that's it? That was the growth? Yeah.
Yo, what the fuck? We were talking about like routines and shit, and having experience on doing more than one thing at a time. Yeah. Whatever.
You know, one random thing I think about a lot is like, you know, flies. They live between like 2 weeks and a month or whatever, right? Like some flies live whatever, like 20 days. If you think about, you know, some flies that you see sometimes just randomly coming, these fucking fruit flies that live whatever 10 days. Think about their path, like their flight path, right? And like they want to go from here and they want to go out the window, but they go like this, they come out, they go that way, they come back. They spend, I don't know, they spend 10 minutes going from there to there when they could have done it in 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. But are you criticizing them for, it's like, no, they needed to learn how to get there. They needed to sit on that window for a little bit and be like, oh wait, this isn't a way out, you know, like they won't even learn that, like, because they don't have the brain, and they're not living long enough to be able to even figure that out.
That's what some people's lives are.
There was a bee on this window one time where
that's what it is.
Hit me with the craziest metaphor.
There was a bee on the window the other day where I'm like, yo, if I don't open this window and take the screen out, it'll just live its life where, because it looked young. I'm like, it would have
this is it.
Pulled up, sat on that window, and been like, all right, yo, I'll get out eventually. I don't know what's going on right now, but and then it would have died if I didn't open that window. So it's like, that's what happens to us every day, every year, every generation. You're
a fucking fly stuck in your window.
Like the fly's path, and I also thought about that fly's path from here to the window isn't a straight path. Mm-hmm. You know, it took it. You know, many different ways, curves.
There were many different routes,
and ups and downs, lefts and rights.
And you might think they're fucking idiots because there's nothing in there. There's nothing blocking them from going just zoop zoop, right? Mm-hmm. But
zoop zoop.
But like, why are they going? You know, like, but
why are you doing the zup zoops?
All of them do that. I don't think there's. Maybe there was a fly who in their life went from there to there, and they lived their life.
That was a smart ass fly.
Yeah. Like, and they lived their life perfectly.
Fuck this shit, yo.
What did it amount
Going
to?
Straight. Right? And that's a metaphor for some people who do have their life that way.
Yeah.
Who are able to go straight to their goal. Who are lucky enough to have a life that's that simple.
And then the only thing
fed to them.
So the only thing that would be beneficial to them for having that, you know, kind of foresight or privilege to be able to bypass all these stupid zoops and stuff was that they could pass on that knowledge to the next generation. Be like, hey, you don't have to be flying all around. You can do what I did.
Right.
And some people don't do that, you know. White people don't do that.
Worst.
Cheese.
But I mean, that's the thing is like, you have to think about not after a certain point, after you reach a certain growth, it's like, what are you growing for? Are you growing for yourself? Are you growing for other people after you?
Definitely shouldn't be growing for other people though. What do you think?
I think there's a point where right now, us as emerging artists, we're growing for ourselves. I think there's a point where you reach your life where you all you can do is pass on what you've learned to the next generation.
Yes,
Right. I guess I wasn't thinking that part of my life. I was thinking more.
Yeah, right now.
Like
no.
right now.
Yeah, no.
Right
like
now, be
growing
selfish.
for other
Yeah.
people in the sense they're growing or
Not yeah. See,
doing
that's
stuff for other people in the sense of
that's
to
the thing,
be
right?
better than someone or to
that's
prove
not
someone wrong.
Yeah, that's
or,
not growing, right? It's like when
Yeah.
you're doing everything for somebody else, or to like prove something. Like that's not.
Yeah.
Maybe
like
it
you're
is
doing
helping
shit
you.
out of spite.
Yeah.
I think in some cases, like if you're doing something to be better than an individual, like it helps you a little bit, I think, but long term, I don't think it helps you.
Yeah.
Like I think long term, you're gonna just you're gonna lose track of sight of why you're actually doing this, and it's all gonna fall apart.
I think I can relate this to this. Ian brought up this very general topic, but let me see if I can get it to there from here. So like, I was watching this episode of Sopranos, and they were watching this boxing match, and these guys were like, they're who's gonna win? Who do you think is gonna win? And then they're in a hospital, so there was this like rocket scientist or like this physicist who was in the hospital with them too, and he's like, it's not about who's gonna win. It's about the boxing match itself, right? And he brought it back to that like Schrodinger's cat thing. Have you ever heard about that? No. Schrodinger's cat is like this theory where it relates to quantum physics, I think, where at the quantum level there are like these randomly moving particles, and basically like at the smallest level of life, what we've basically determined is like that these particles decide if they're going to be an electron or a proton, and it just seems very random as to like how they determine that. And it's just this metaphor where it's like it doesn't matter which side you're on, it's about the completion of it itself, right? So it's like this boxing match, and this kind of goes back to a point where I had too, where it's like this kind of competitive nature. There are things like sports where growth is determined on competition. Like, Michael Jordan is only LeBron James. They're only considered to be in that GOAT conversation because of who and what they had to overcome, specifically who they had to overcome, which players that they proved to be better than over a certain amount of time. Right. And that's where the debate comes in. And it's like, it's funny, like, so the conversation or the topic that we had is like, what is, or like, how do you judge art, or like, how do you determine where you can go artistically, right? But it's like we can't even determine that in something that's like as statistical or as like numbers based as sports, right? Like we're never gonna come to that anonymous or that consensus decision of like who the greatest basketball player is of all time, because it's not just the numbers, right? It's about like everything else, right?
Many different moving parts.
But that's the beauty of the game, is that you can have this competition that like incites so many different ways of trying to come up with being the best, right? And like I just thought of this little point like a while ago, like when I was watching the Jordan documentary, and seeing like people were making fun of it, but like how he kind of like created like these personal rivalries with everybody that he encountered. But like I feel like at a certain point he needed that, because for him, for like, you can see this with other people, like people who reached the top, like Jordan as a basketball player, he reached the pinnacle. He had the NBA championship so many times that you realize that when you watch the documentary that the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, they had to mean something completely different to him than the first one, because he already got that first one. They already told him he was the best player. They already told him he was the best player before he even won a championship. So it was like once he won that, once he already they already told him, yo, you're the best individual basketball player of all time. You won 2, you won 3, you left, you came back, you won again. Yeah. What does the 6-1 mean to him, right? And it's like, that's why he had to keep coming up with these like little rivalries every time. It's like, because that's what the nature of what he did had to create. You had to create competition, and like we do it too. Like we create little competitions in our head. Like you have to kind of balance that too, right?
And also, it kind of reminds me of him always talking about how, not him just talking about, but at least his history of gambling. He's always willing to bet on himself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's part of it too. Like him being so like when he got pissed when that what was the sideline guy was like beating him at that coin toss thing. Yeah. It's like it sounds stupid, but it's like it's also that's how he was wired. Like it wasn't just he wanted to be the best in basketball. Like he wanted to be the best at everything because he knew that if he beat that guy in that little stupid hallway coin game, that means something to his basketball game. Yeah, you know. That means something to his life. You know, like
it's all part of his legacy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, his ability to always win, even if it wasn't basketball.
Exactly. Yeah.
Deep shit, man. Deep shit.
And it's like, yeah, he you know, he was such a selfish or like not so, like solely focused player where he was very focused on his legacy, but in the end he made basketball what it was. Like basketball wouldn't have been a top sport if it wasn't for his impact. Jordan, shoes, sneaker culture, all of these little things that transcended just because he was so focused on his goal, right? So it's like that is why you got to be selfish, because it does lead to all these other things.
And it helps create other great players as well.
Exactly, yeah.
The future.
Kobe.
Create the future of the game.
Kobe, LeBron, like it all stems from that, right? That's why it's not like, oh, LeBron's better than Jordan or Kobe's better than blah. It's like it's all a succession. It's all a part of the same thing, right? But you also do need to be selfish at a certain point too.
You do,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
It's about knowing your place within the place that you're working in, and how you being a selfish person and trying to be your best can actually help the growth of everything else, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I guess early in your career you don't have to be thinking about that much, but I think inevitably you get to a point where you have to start thinking about, you know, everything that comes about it, because I think even us where we're not really anywhere, we're already at a point where what we do doesn't just affect us, it affects the people under us, right? So
it does, yeah.
And that is something that we chose to do, but it's also something that's kind of like it's not fully us. It is something that people do look to us for, because we do things differently or our way, you know?
Yeah. We'll say, I think it is very important to recognize your role not only in a group, but in the world, you know what I mean? And like you're saying, how as many people as us as there are, you are part of this working machine that is life at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah.
That it could be your contributions to the economy or to somebody's life, but either way, you're here for a reason, you know?
Yeah.
You're here to keep things moving at the end of the day. So figuring that out within what you need to do for yourself, then what you're doing in your organization of friends or work or whatever, and then also how you're contributing to the world is all very important. And also being aware that other people don't even know that yet is also very important, that they don't know that they need to contribute to the world. And you can't get pissed off at them because they're not woke yet. Yeah.
I mean, you look at nature, right? Like, if you were just a deer, you wouldn't know anything that was going on outside of your forest or your domain that you're living in. But all you know is that you need to survive, and when you have kids, you need to make sure that they survive. Yeah. And I don't know how their brains work, but I think there's something in there that says what's in our brains when we have kids, which is like, I want to leave a better place for them. And that's all that these animals, plants, everything else except humans kind of lives on, is this idea that I'm going to make this world a place that I can kind of survive and hopefully thrive. If not, my kid, you know, my next of kin are gonna thrive. And I think humans are the only people who kind of lost sight of that, you know, and it doesn't need to be any less or more simple than that. Like, you can still be very confused by what that means, because like we said, it's very hard to monitor or even know what what you should be doing to contribute to your growth. But like, all a lion knows is to go and fucking eat a deer.
Yeah.
They don't know that when they eat the deer, it sustains the deer population, which sustains the tree population, which blah, 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 which sustains their population, which sustains the entire ecosystem that they live in. They don't know that. All they know is that what they're doing is helping them and their kids, but like, they're sustaining the world, right? And like, we have an ability to not only kind of figure out that what we're doing is helping us, but we can kind of figure out that what we're doing and it's like how it's helping the rest of the world, right? Yeah. And we have the internet and social media, so we're all connected. So it's like, it can be overwhelming because literally anything you do can affect the entire world, right? And how do we work that out, and how do we figure out where everybody has to do what they need to do? I think it just works itself out. I think it, like, that's what nature shows, is like, you just need to do what you do is best for you, and it ultimately helps out everybody.
Things will kind of just fall into place, hopefully, you know. Most likely. Just leave it up to God.
Jeez.
Leave it up to the Lord.
I don't even know what to say. I actually don't know what to say.
Well, thanks for listening to the Lost Time.
I'm speechless on that one. Yeah, those animal metaphors are sick.
Yeah.
Good ones, good ones, good ones, good ones.
Just remember that though, when you every time you see a fly, that shit's dead either the next week, or if it just was born, it's gonna be dead in 2 weeks.
Bro, like, whatever it's doing right now is like important, because it's like its life is about to fucking end, dude. Like,
one day is like 20 years of your life.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean, or like
like something like that.
Yeah, or like four. Yeah, like let's say a fly lives for 20 days. So one day would be like 4 years of your life.
Yeah, I mean, even though.
And I've seen a fly that's I've literally today I've seen a fly that's all it's been doing is running around my basement.
Flies don't have concept of time like we do, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, that is what it is.
Yeah,
that is its life.
Yeah.
So. We should be grateful. We have a lot of time.
And we're about to have more time. We're about to have 200 years.
Yeah, fuck. With the 200 years, bro.
Hey.
I don't even know if I want that, but like, I guess
I'm about 200 years.
I can make that decision when it happens. I don't know if it'll happen in our lifetime.
You don't want 200 years, Ian?
Of life?
Extra. Plus.
I mean, if I could...
I think, like...
If I could start my life over at 100...
I think what will happen is, like, you know, when people are born and they think that 200 years is the norm... Just life will be different, you know. Like you'll be graduating when you're 40 from elementary school. You know what I mean? Like, which is probably better.
I think life is. I think once you start living that long, things will actually like go to,
because you'll have time to like.
Life might actually be better, because then you could be like in your 20s and 30s. You could fuck around.
Yeah.
You could just like party and do all that shit you want to do.
A lot more peaceful.
Like way more partying, or way more like just learning and life, traveling. And because most people don't have enough time to travel because they have kids by the time they're 30 and they can't have travel anymore. So it's like more time to travel, more time to learn shit, more time to fuck around, even more time to experiment. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of shit to do. You could, like, your kill count could be higher.
That's what this guy's thinking about. His kill count.
Like one of the things I thought about was like, you know, like social studies taught us about basically from like grade 4 to grade 7. We learned everything we were supposed to about Canadian history, and then that was it, right?
Yeah.
But in the past like 2 months, I've learned more about like Canadian history, and like actually started learning about Indigenous shit, like the history of Canadian Indigenous people, and like
the real Canadian history.
Yeah, and like just like actually being able to like, you know, read it and like let it sit in my head and like figure out what that means to me. You know, like what does it mean to me when I learn about the Indigenous people that were living around this area in Scarborough. But like when you learn that as a 10-year-old, like what is that gonna do for you? You know,
you don't get the weight of it.
Yeah, but we condense so much into like that first 13, 14 years of our lives, and that's why we make fun of this shit. It's like, why did we learn all this dumb shit in elementary school? Because it doesn't make sense to us, because we're just condensing too much, you know? like there. I think if we had 200 years, it would make more sense. We would be able to like be like, all right, this is when you should learn this shit, you know, because this would make more sense for you at this time, you know.
Yeah.
Like there's like all the fucking Shakespeare shit that we read in high school. Like I'm never gonna go back and read that stuff now, but it's like that shit's probably intelligent, but I don't want to fucking read that shit now. You know?
I don't know why that's still a thing. Like, why are we all forced to read that shit?
Because Shakespeare's the greatest writer.
Is he though? In European times, maybe. I guess it's not even English technically.
Yeah.
It is, but it's like an old version of it.
How's it not English?
It's an old version of English.
But it's English.
Awesome talks. We're back. Fucking light went out. Anyways,
You know what it is.
we were talking shit about Shakespeare. Whatever. Never mind. I don't know where that point was going.
It wasn't going anywhere. But also, you know that like Shakespeare might not even be a fucking person. I still don't get that shit.
Yeah.
Like he might not have been a.
Yeah, he might not have been real.
Like it
yeah.
might have been written by multiple people.
Yeah.
A group of white dudes.
Again, a group of white dudes. Yeah, that's true.
People sleep on that statement that I made.
Yeah.
What about that WAP?
People sleep on that shit, man.
That WAP.
What about that WAP, man?
That WAP? The white man did not make that WAP. I can tell you that. That WAP, yo.
Nah,
That WAP made life, you know?
Yeah.
that WAP is like.
I will say I didn't like Meg's verse on that song.
No.
I think Cardi B really.
Cardi B, I really liked her voice on that
Yeah,
shit.
Cardi B sounded really good on there.
Cardi
She
B
was
is-
saying all the right
She's
things.
just dirty. Fucking,
She was getting fucking dirty. She was
dirty
about
talking
some-
in my ear, bro.
Oh man, it felt great.
But it isn't like, you know, I seen people like kind of going, like after I seen the criticism, they were saying like she was going too hard. I'm like, yo, like, did you ever listen to a David Banner track
Bro,
or
that's what I'm saying.
Yin Yang Twins? Like,
People are just fucking really sensitive and they don't
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
and
this
I'm
is
not
one of those
even, I'm not
moments-
talking about like dirty rappers. I'm talking about I'm
regular-
talking about the Whisper song that was on every
Yeah.
fucking radio station.
So
Like,
fucking
you know what I
talking
mean?
about.
Like,
People are complaining about this. I'm like, dude, there's other things to be worried
How
about.
many like male rappers talk about like fucking bitches,
yeah.
Bro, this is
getting their dick sucked?
what this is just men and
Like, come on.
people that are sensitive trying to hold down women even more. This is not what this song was made for. It was about women empowerment and being able to say these things, and you guys just proved them right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're telling them to shut the fuck up. No, they don't need to. They have wet ass pussies. They're allowed to tell us they have wet ass pussies. Because who doesn't like a wet ass pussy?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy though.
Yeah. Why
Yeah, like why? Yeah, it's one thing if you were complaining about like something, you know, like a next thing. I don't know, like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like how are you complaining about that?
Are you
Like, I don't-
complaining about
wet-ass
something that's like
pussy.
that's like
How you complain about wet ass
if you're a
pussy?
straight man, like this is great.
Who doesn't like wet ass pussy?
That's great, bro.
That's good for everybody.
That's good for
That's
the
just
everyone.
good for life, bro. That
Nectar.
just yeah.
Nectar. That yummy.
You see the jokes this guy makes, bro? That yummy. What are we talking about yummy anymore? Last time we talked about yummy, we were at our houses doing the pod on Zoom or some shit.
Yummy.
This guy said yummy, bro.
I just wanted to trigger him. That's why.
Anyways.
I know what pisses him off. That's why I
Anyways,
said
that WAP should not be pissing anybody off. Anybody that has an issue with women expressing themselves in any way, whether it be nice or vulgar, you have a problem because we've been living in this age for how long, and we've been hearing about dudes fucking bitches, getting their balls and their dick sucked, bitches eating their asses and shit.
Since the 40s, I could pull up a soul song where a guy's
Bro,
talking about sucking dick, bro.
There's
Like,
a history, a long history.
Yeah.
So if you truly have a problem with this, you are one of the people that is a problem. So please get away. And you know what? That just means there's more wet ass pussy for the rest of us.
exactly.
All I want you fucking then is that dap, yo.
Yeah.
that dap. Yeah.
Just fuck that dap, that dry ass pussy, and you leave the rest of that wet ass pussy for us because that's what I'm trying to enjoy.
And that's realistically probably, if you are complaining about WAP, that's you probably only seen DAP in your life because you're complaining
yeah,
about
you
WAP.
probably only have
Yeah.
ever used
Yeah, 'cause-
lube.
Yeah.
You complaining about WAP, all you're gonna get is the dap.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
that's all you're gonna get.
Get that dap in you.
That's how that shit works. Anyways,
That dad, yo, that drastic,
dad.
yo.
Get that dad on you, bro. Get your dad on you, bro.
no.
And then this fucking guy, yo.
Yeah. Looks like he could be Ian's dad, yeah. Looks nothing like his dad, but he looks like he could be
I mean, I
Ian's
wish
dad.
I'd be rich.
I'm just saying the looks.
I'd be rich.
I'm not saying Michael Malone's gonna be your dad. Yeah.
He's definitely somebody's daddy though.
Chill, bro.
Like those guys get bitches, man.
The coaches?
Yeah.
Coaches aren't getting bitches unless they got chips, man.
Nick Nurse has bitches.
Only Nick
has
Nurse. Why? Because
bitches.
he's a championship.
I feel like Nick Nurse would talk to Rihanna.
Yeah.
You don't think
Rihanna would talk to Nick Nurse? You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like he wouldn't. He would just be chilling and
He'd be chilling.
Yeah.
Rihanna and FKA Twigs.
Although, why those
like
two?
the crazy combination.
Why those two? Yo?
Because it's just a crazy match, yo.
True.
Crazy pair.
The coaches get bitches if they ain't
Coaches are
married
not
and
getting
shit.
Bitches,
Why
man.
not, yo? Why
I'm
not?
telling you. Unless you got a chip on you, man, you don't got no bitches.
Yeah, because they're mostly like, ex-players or, they've been struggling in high school and college.
The coach of the Spurs, man, he gets all the bitches.
Popovich?
Yeah.
Popovich gets bitches,
I don't
bro.
think he takes them, but he
Yeah,
could.
yeah.
He could. Like,
He
I
could.
think he's fine.
He's a dilf.
Whoa. This guy said a DILF, and it's not even really a DILF. Yo.
It's like
He's older than that.
Yeah,
he's
he's
a
a
gilf.
he's a gilf.
He's a
yeah.
gilf. My
He's a
bad.
gilf, bro.
I'll take I'll push it farther. Yeah.
Or a pilf, yo, a papa.
Right.
He's a papa. He's Popovich. He's a
Pop.
papa.
Bro,
Yeah.
they
Pop the
rap.
bitch.
You know how many rap songs, rap lines have Popovich in it? Fuck.
Yeah, man. Sometimes, but
Bro,
that's
bitches be
we're
rapping to
talking
that
about.
shit.
No one's talking about Michael Malone.
Not Malone. Like it's just like I'm just saying in general. Some coaches are gonna get it more than others.
Nick Nurse.
For sure.
Nick
Nick
Nurse.
Nurse,
Nick Nurse is getting
Popovich.
that right now.
Popovich. What the fuck is oh man, I'm trying to remember. Probably the Golden State.
Oh, Steve Kerr. Yeah.
Yeah,
Steve Kerr.
he getting
sure,
it. He
yeah.
getting it, you know?
Definitely. He's fucking black girls.
Shout out the Raptors though. I wanted because we brought this up. We were talking about Dwayne Casey, and because I remember last season there was a lot of salt being thrown on Nick Nurse's name from Dwayne Casey about like, oh, it's looking like the same plays that I was running and stuff. But you could clearly see from this year without a Kawhi and the fact that the Raptors are like dominating most teams, and they've gotten cosigns from everybody, including LeBron. Everybody's saying that they're the best team in the bubble, and I would agree. Phoenix, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Phoenix.
Sure.
Phoenix is doing their thing. Though.
Yeah, Phoenix is doing their thing, but I think like if you look at the Raptors like team play, like Devin Booker is on another level right now. But if
Exactly.
you look at the Raptors team play, especially because
It's the best.
our best player who is supposed to be Siakam is not doing well, the Raptors are the best team. They have 20 different defenses. Like I can't remember who said that, but it's true. Like that's what Nick Nurse does. He like just like our playbook is crazy. Like
Dwayne Casey's doing who?
Detroit.
Detroit. Where's Detroit right now? They're not playing.
I don't know if they're in Orlando right now. I think they're at home.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think they in it.
Yeah.
That sounds a little familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, Dwayne. D-Wayne.
Dwayne Casey, man.
Dwayne Casey.
Some people say he deserves a ring.
People are fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, I don't know why they love him.
I
so
understand.
much.
I get it. He put in work.
Really done.
But that's like getting a fucking. That's what is that?
man.
That shit. The ribbon that you get from track. The fucking.
The consolation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yo,
I don't wanna be
the
that like that.
cooperation.
Yeah.
you
Yo,
know?
Drake deserves a ring more than him, bro.
Drake had some plays even when Casey was here in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Remember that one where he's talking to the man and
Yeah.
the man forgot to.
Yeah.
Like, Drake has pulled off some clutch plays for us. Indeed. So, yeah, Drake deserves a ring. Yeah.
And that was during the Casey time.
That's what I'm saying.
During the Nurse times, he didn't do much. He was just there.
And it's because he didn't have to work
Exactly.
for
Don't
us.
have to do shit.
He didn't
There
have
were
because he's like,
yeah.
the ball game's being handled.
There were times when the Raptors in the playoffs needed Drake's help
Yeah.
for some dumb shit. And I
Yeah.
remember seeing the headline and there's like, oh, Drake did this and it caused this play. And it sounds like it's an exaggeration. But it kind of was Drake's
had
reason. Yeah, it kind of was up to like the reason we scored or whatever was kind of up to
Yeah.
Drake. Like
Yeah,
so,
man.
he kind of was a coach there. Whereas when Nick Nurse was coaching, all he needed to do was that one speech where he's like, "Yo, let's go, the Raptors are yeah." That's it. That's all you need to do.
Truly just a six god.
Want that WAP on vinyl?
Hmm.
Yo, that vinyl purple. Look at that WAP on vinyl.
Backs, both of their backs.
Both of their backs on that vinyl. That shit kind of hard still. And is it purple?
I'm gonna have to look at that
Is
later.
that shit purple?
That WAP, you need to hit him with that WAP, yo.
That wap 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 wap. That wap 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 wap.
Yeah, I just want that shit out so we can do the Kwame cast, yo, the Kwame podcast.
Fuck, dude, we have to do that. That's gonna be the greatest thing ever.
We just watch it.
I think we're gonna wrap it here because we're kind of running out of shit to say.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those pods where we're like, not feeling it.
You don't gotta tell us.
Yeah. No, it's been a great pod. Just low energy today.
Yeah, man. I'm chilling.
And it is what it is. We had some great conversations. We hit up some good topics. I think we should revisit them.
We don't need to downsell it. Like, we hit our hour and a half, yo. We're good.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't gotta tell me, bro. We put in our time. We got.
Yo, as long as we don't hit that.
Oh shit, we're recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
As long as we never hit the Sickaz podcast, like I'm so glad we did. See,
That's the lowest of the low.
This is a great point. You gotta hit that
growth.
point. Yeah. Now we know growth. Now I know that what the lowest is like how shit could our podcast ever be? It's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
This is
fine
fine.
because we were fucking sick.
Yeah. This is fine, bro.
Yeah.
Today's pod was fine.
Anything
bro.
other than that is like, it's a good pod.
Yeah, man.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been a great pod. Definitely gonna revisit some of these topics, maybe with more insight. But I think it was really great. Any last words? We're gonna wrap it today.
Yeah.
Good old burp.
Is that what?
Shout out to Lost Craft, our unsponsored sponsor.
Got that cider.
We got a variety today. We drinking different shit today.
Make sure to use that promo code Lost and WAP.
Try Lost and Talks. If it doesn't work, try Lost and WAP.
Yeah.
One of the two should work.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, can you go email them and say, why aren't we a sponsor yet?
Yeah.
But basically, they got a variety of drinks. There's a drink for everybody. There's a drink for everybody, literally. They got the IPAs. They got the sours. They got the cider.
They need that WAP IPA.
They got a lager. They got a radler. Holy shit.
Cider.
They got everything. They got everything. But yeah, Lost Talks Podcast 46. Have a great day.
Yeah. Bye.